Imagine that the world is quiet. The wind is gentle. The sky is grey with soft clouds drifting overhead. The sounds are distant, muffled by time, as though history itself has wrapped everything in a warm blanket. You are not here to witness battle. You are here to spend one peaceful day beside an ordinary British soldier during the First World War. Take a slow breath and let yourself drift back to the year 1916. The morning begins before sunrise. Private Thomas Bennett wakes slowly inside a small dugout carved into the earth somewhere along the Western Front. His blanket is rough wool. The air is cool. Above him, wooden beams hold back thousands of pounds of muddy soil. Tiny drops of water cling to the timber before quietly falling onto the packed dirt floor. Nothing happens quickly here. Thomas blinks a few times before sitting up. Outside, the world is almost silent. A few birds are already awake, singing as though there were no war at all. He pulls on his boots carefully. One lace has been repaired several times. The leather has softened after months of rain and mud. He places his steel helmet on his head, picks up his mug, and steps outside. The trench stretches in both directions, winding gently like a muddy river. Wooden duckboards run along the bottom to keep everyone's feet out of the worst of the water. Sandbags line the top. The walls are reinforced with timber. It isn't comfortable, but after many months, it feels strangely familiar. Thomas joins the queue for breakfast. There isn't much. A mug of tea, a slice of bread, perhaps a little jam if supplies have arrived recently. Someone jokes that the tea could strip paint from a wall. A few soldiers chuckle. It isn't a particularly funny joke, but familiar jokes somehow become comforting. Thomas smiles anyway. The steam from the tea curls into the cool morning air. For a few peaceful moments, everyone simply drinks. No one rushes. As daylight slowly brightens the sky, daily routines begin. Life in the trenches is surprisingly ordinary between periods of fighting. There are boots to clean, equipment to inspect, uniform buttons to sew back on, letters to write, shovels to repair. Everything has its place. Everything has its rhythm. Thomas carefully wipes yesterday's mud from his rifle, not because he expects to use it today, but because routine helps the hours pass. Nearby, another soldier quietly hums an old tune from home. Someone farther down the trench boils another kettle. The smell of tea drifts through the air once again. If you closed your eyes, you might almost imagine a village worksite. Almost. Around mid-morning, Thomas is assigned to repair part of the trench wall. Recent rain has caused sections to slump inward. Using a shovel, he carefully moves heavy mud back into place. Others stack fresh sandbags. The work is slow, methodical, almost peaceful. Every shovel of earth makes the trench just a little stronger. A robin lands briefly on a nearby wooden post. It tilts its tiny head toward the soldiers. For a moment, everyone watches the bird instead of thinking about anything else. Then it flies away, leaving only silence behind. By noon, clouds drift lazily overhead. Lunch is simple: a bowl of stew, a piece of bread, perhaps a little cheese if fortune is smiling today. Thomas sits beside his closest friend, Private William Carter. William talks about home. He remembers green fields in Yorkshire, his mother's garden, fresh apples, a little stream where he used to fish as a boy. Thomas listens quietly. Then he tells William about the bakery near his own home. He says he misses warm bread more than anything. Not grand adventures, not excitement, just fresh bread. The two laugh softly. Sometimes the smallest memories become the strongest. After lunch comes one of the quietest parts of the day, the afternoon watch. Thomas climbs carefully to a firing step beneath the parapet. He peers over the top. Across the muddy landscape lies another trench. Far away. Still. Almost motionless. The space between them is wide and empty. Grass has begun growing in places. Tiny wildflowers somehow survive among the churned earth. Nature continues its patient work, even here. Clouds drift overhead. Minutes pass. Then more minutes. Nothing changes. The stillness becomes almost hypnotic. Thomas listens to the breeze, to distant crows, to leaves rustling far beyond the battlefield. History often remembers loud moments, but those who lived through the war also knew endless quiet ones. Hours that stretched gently across the day, hours filled with waiting, watching, thinking. As afternoon fades toward evening, mail finally arrives. Excitement spreads through the trench. Letters are treasures. Thomas receives one. His younger sister has written from England. She tells him about the family dog chasing chickens again. She writes that the village church recently repaired its roof. She says autumn leaves are beginning to turn golden. Nothing dramatic, nothing extraordinary, just ordinary life. Thomas reads the letter twice, then a third time. Each sentence brings home a little closer. He folds it carefully, places it inside his tunic, close to his heart. As sunset approaches, the sky becomes streaked with orange and pale pink. The trench looks almost beautiful. Lanterns begin glowing softly inside dugouts. Dinner is served. More tea. Another helping of stew. Someone has somehow managed to acquire a small tin of biscuits. They are shared equally. No one takes more than their share. The biscuits are slightly stale. No one minds. They taste wonderful. Darkness arrives slowly. The stars appear one by one. Thomas volunteers for first watch. The night is calm. Cool air moves gently across the fields. The moon hangs low above the landscape. Silver light settles across the sandbags. Everything seems softer, quieter. Far away, an owl calls. Thomas leans comfortably against the trench wall. He thinks about home, about future mornings, about peaceful walks through English countryside. He imagines warm kitchens, fresh bread, the sound of rain against familiar windows. Simple things, beautiful things. Eventually, his watch ends. Another soldier quietly takes his place. Thomas climbs back into the dugout. He removes his helmet, carefully folds his blanket, lies down once more. The wooden roof creaks gently overhead. Drops of water fall now and then. Outside, someone quietly laughs at another familiar joke. A kettle whistles. Boots crunch softly along duckboards. Then, little by little, everything grows still. The trench settles into sleep. Thomas closes his eyes. Tomorrow will bring another ordinary day. Another mug of tea. Another letter to reread. Another conversation with friends. Another sunrise. History remembers great battles. But history is also made from quiet mornings, shared meals, small acts of kindness, and ordinary people carrying on through extraordinary times. Private Thomas Bennett was one of thousands of young British soldiers who found moments of peace, friendship, and hope even amid the hardships of trench life. And now, As the stars shine gently above the old trench, the wind grows softer. The birds have long since gone quiet. The lanterns fade one by one. The earth rests. The soldiers rest. And this single day, preserved only in memory, slowly drifts into silence. Good night.